Hi, in this video I'm going to have a look at a way to use a small account to reinforce a small account to get points during Kingdom versus Kingdom. Kingdom versus Kingdom here is about to start or starting in 1 hour. I'm not going to show the actual happening because at that time I'm probably too busy with all kind of stuff. So I just want to show how I'm setting it up. So currently I parked my one of my farm accounts, Stronghold 29. It is important that it is a relatively high level so that you have enough space to reinforce it completely. I haven't used this one yet. I'm still building the embassy further, but I think I should have enough. Another important or easy step to take is to switch to Sir Gawain if you have fully developed that one to get the extra reinforcement capacity, and at the same time still have the march capacity that you would also get from the Covenant of having Cattern and Maddock, for example. So I'm going to switch here, and then I should have quite a high level. So normally I do change the name of my account. I've now changed it to 4 points. That should normally be quite clear. I don't use any I don't use sorry I don't use any anti-scout items or anything. I just let people see what they do. So the idea is that I will put this full with my troops. So let's start with doing that, and that you can actually do before you port in this forest. So that is normally you would actually do it before you port in the forest if it is already during Kingdom versus Kingdom, because you don't want people to be able to attack your city without your troops being in there. But currently, I'm not. I see that the capacity that I can put in is 591, and that is a bit less than what I would like to put in there. So I'm going to actually speed this up, and that should have a lot of stuff in here. But yeah, so it's maybe better to use an account that is a little bit better developed than mine. But anyway, now I can put in 631, and that is fine. I'm going to not have a march capacity that is my march capacity fully boosted. With the normal boost is 620 something. So what we normally do, so this is I'm doing it a bit in different order. So normally I first would park it next to me, the farm account. I would put in my troops, and then when you port it into the forest, the reinforced troops stay in, so that is no problem. And once it is in the forest, I still have quite some troops in here. So normally what I do is remove those troops. So let's do that now. And I haven't done a lot of experimentation, but what I was told was just to say, okay, send out all troops except 1 troop type. Keep your dragon home. Keep your best heroes home. And this is something, which is a bit. So I'm going to leave the tier 9 bowmen at home. Don't know if it matters, but someone told me that might matter. So that is all done. Only needed 4 marches for that. Okay, and so after you port in the forest, you send out those troops. You might do that quite fast because sometimes people are very eager to hit you. And after that, once you've sent out everything and you're reinforced, it's a matter of waiting until somebody comes to hit you. Now, the nice thing about this, if you are going to get hit, you should, by the way, reinforcement should definitely be done with a dragon. That makes a huge difference. So you should really have your primary march reinforcing this farm account. So the nice thing about it, if you're hit, and this is in my home kingdom, my troops they don't die, they go to my Alliance hospital and personal hospital first. Especially from the Alliance hospital, healing is quite, going quite fast. I was a bit surprised I was being promoted to R4 here, but okay. So healing is going quite fast, quite cheap actually. You should try to have as many coins as possible so that you can use those coins to heal, but also having quite some resources and healing speed ups is good to have. Because normally I'm not that strong. People who watch my videos roughly know my stats. So I'm not that strong, and early on it's always a bit of a question, like when can you best go to the forest? I'm normally going at the beginning, but maybe completely at the beginning is not so good, because at that time there are some very strong players who don't have points yet, who come, and if they hit me, I hardly score any points. So that is not so beneficial actually. But you also shouldn't wait too long, because at a certain moment most players have points and there are more players parking their accounts in the forest than there are people willing to hit them. So then it might be very difficult to get points. So I tend to I collect resources, I collect the healing speed up. So I tend to just go to the forest and accept that it can take me 2-3 hits before I get all my points. And you should really aim to get all your points, because getting everything except one is still not going to be good enough or good enough. I mean, you really want those 8, in my case, 8 extra celestials, or 6 extra celestials and 5 extra celestials. Sorry, my eyes are not as good as I hope. Those last couple, that's really what I'm doing it for. And of course, the most important thing is by getting these points, and if your kingdom holds on to their own Avalon or even wins another Avalon, then you're eligible for an extra warrior pack, and that is the real reason to get your kingdom an extra warrior pack. So that is something to, really something to pay attention to as well. Try to get all those points. So this might not always work, but lately it works quite well. And as an alternative, well, there are a couple of alternatives to get points. If you are strong, you can also, of course, be the aggressor, go to another kingdom and attack accounts like this. There are always people willing to do that, willing to park their account, I think. So attack those. And if you use your I don't have it active here in this one, of course. If you use your life preserver, you actually don't have to lose many troops, especially if you're strong player. Probably if you hit players like me, then you don't have to lose a lot of troops, especially if you use the life preserver. So that's another way to get points. And a very good way, of course, also is to actively participate in Kingdom vs. Kingdom. And I also always do that. But there's no guarantee that you will be attacked, getting points by being attacked. And even if you get attacked, no guarantee you will get all points. There is also no, we are not always trying to invade another kingdom. So that is less a certain way to get your points. So that's why I lately always focus on reinforcing one of my smaller accounts, exposing them in the forest, and trying to get my points that way. And by the way, at the same time, I do send another march. Once Kingdom vs Kingdom start, I do send another march to Avalon or to one of the towers to help those as well. And since I'm not a mega leader, it's not a big problem that I don't have a dragon in there. Okay, I sent a little bit less troops because the dragon is not in there, but I have my march boosted anyway, so it is still quite a large march that I can send. And once I get my points, I normally add my primary march to one of the buildings to help defend the kingdom. If we don't have enough players, that is, because lately sometimes you have plenty of players, and then it's actually good to share your spot in the towers in Avalon. On the one hand, it's good to share the losses that you might potentially have, but it's also good to share so that everyone has a possibility to get points, not just the points for this specific Kingdom vs Kingdom, but it's also good to occupy buildings to get points. Let me see if I can show that. The regular season rewards, these are depending on how long you have occupied one of the buildings or one of the towers or Avalon. So that gives you some rewards at the end of the season. Of course, with my small account, I haven't occupied any time at all, so 0 minutes. But with my main account, I've occupied already quite some time, and everybody should try to max that out to get into the highest tier. That will just give you some nice extra rewards. So make sure that everyone in your kingdom gets an opportunity to occupy the buildings as well. Nobody should feel left out. Just make sure to share. Okay, well, that was it. If you have any comments or any questions on this, please feel free to share, and thanks for watching this video.